boxeur. Pour la WBC, Monsieur Pini. Pernell Whitaker. José Luis Ramirez.
WBC lightweight title on the line between the 23-year-old Virginia native Pernell Sweet Pea Whitaker and this man, the well-traveled veteran Jose Luis Ramirez. Luis Carlos Guzman, the third man inside. 12 rounds for the WBC lightweight title. We are at the Stade de Levallois in Levallois-Perret, France. If you're wondering what we're doing in France, well, Ramirez, French managed Joe Tessitore, and Ray Boom Boom Mancini, former lightweight champion of the world, with you. Now, Ray, I got to get your take here, because if anybody should know what Ramirez brings to the table, it'd be you. You took care of business back in July of 1981 against him, winning a 12-round decision. What does he offer up?
Well, Ramirez is a very strong, physically strong guy. Not a big puncher, but a good, sturdy puncher. But what he also brings to the table is knowledge. Very smart in there, very slick. You know, he'll draw you into making mistakes. So you got to be careful. Don't get caught with any sucker punches, but keep moving on him. Use your upper body movement, use your quickness. And if Pete does that, I think you should give him a good boxing lesson.
Upper body movement, quickness, speed. No, that's a recipe that would cook up Sweet Pea Pernell Whitaker, now 15-0, 1984 Olympic gold medalist, and such a bright future ahead of him. What do you think of the management of his career at this point, Ray, in terms of his 16th pro fight, already fighting for a title?
Well, first of all, when you got a guy like Sweet Pea, he's had such an extensive amateur career, you know, fighting all over the world. He's ready for the pros. He's ready for the top-notch guys now, because he's had such an extensive amateur career. You know, when you have all that experience, it doesn't take much to get back into the, take much for you to get into the top 10 and be fighting for a title. He's ready for this caliber fighter.
Good movement from Whitaker, circling on the outside, steady work from the jab. Ramirez is going to have to take his time and figure out how to deal with Whitaker, such a defensive wizard and great ring generalship.
See, Joe, this is exactly what Pete has to do. Keep moving, sticking those punches out there, because Ramirez has a hard time figuring a guy out. He follows a guy. Like what he's doing right now, he's following Pete, which is not good. He's got to cut him off. Step over to the left. Make Pete go back to his right, to his left. You know, you got to change it. Make the boxer change directions. You got to keep him thinking. Right now, Pete's got to go on his way.
Still circling around on the outside, utilizing that jab. Southpaw stance, putting out that right-handed jab, steady and consistent.
Right now, it's just ring around the rosy. He's got to do something different, or else Pete's going to be doing this all night long. Good body shots, good body shots.
Whitaker going to the body now here in the first round. Two good right hands to the body against Ramirez. Doubles up that jab, back to it. Hey, there's that footwork you talk about, Ray.
Yeah, he's real slick, real slick. Got to be careful with that stuff.
Great amateur pedigree, great natural athlete, and showing you all the skills and all the tools on that tool belt. Whitaker, Ramirez, end of round one. Ramirez has that look on his face like, oh boy, what have I got myself into?
Right. Seemed like a good idea at the time.
What you think? Not a thing. You're boxing them like a master.
Boy, you gorgeous out there.
I got nothing to tell you except keep doing the same thing. And don't get excited.
Second round.
It's a piece of cake, Pete. It's fun. That's what you're doing. When you think he's going to punch, you step out.
Nice deep
You're
breath.
doing what you were trained to do. It's going to be an easy fight. Just keep it going.
Second round.
Okay.
Round 2 for the WBC lightweight title.
Second round, deuxième round.
Well, it's a good sign when you go back to your corner, Ray, and you hear, I have nothing to tell you. You're boxing beautifully. It's like you're pitching a perfect game.
You know, this is a perfect matchup for Pete. Perfect matchup. Ramirez, like I said, is not overly quick. He's strong, but Pete's strong too, and he can handle the guys like that, you know? And Pete is going to have his way all night long if Ramirez doesn't change plans. He's got to do something different, because if he's doing ring around rosy like he is now, it's going to be the same thing all night long.
Pernell Whitaker coming off of a 4th-round knockout. That was in December, just 4 months ago, against Davy Montana, and it was right here in France. Prior to that, had a 6th-round TKO against Miguel Santana. He has been on a roll, now 15-0, and many feel tonight could be the first of many world championship belts to come his way.
See, that jab's just too fast. That jab is just way too fast for Ramirez. You know, eventually Ramirez, if this is the way it's going, he's going to have to say, look, I'll eat the jabs, but I'm going to drop my left hand, my right hook over the top and try to make a dogfight out of it. Because that's his only chance at this point. And it's only the 2nd round, Joe, and you can see where this is going to go.
Southpaw versus southpaw matchup. Any real advantage for either guy there, Ray? You know, many times the southpaws like to say, oh, I always have the advantage because the orthodox fighter isn't conditioned, isn't used to what I'm bringing them. But what about when it's lefty versus lefty?
Well, they have no tactical advantage, except psychologically, a lot of guys aren't used to fighting another southpaw, and right away that throws them off. Because they're so conditioned to fighting right-handers. So
conditioned or worrying about that lead foot and the placement and getting on the outside. And now it's a mirror image coming back at you.
Exactly.
Good work with the jab from Pernell Whitaker. And tried to bring the back left hand with it.
See, Pete's hands are way too fast for Ramirez. Ramirez, like I said, is a steady guy, but slow foot, slow hand, real sturdy chin. But I'm just saying, his corner's got to think of something else for him to do to change, to disrupt Pete's game plan. He's got to do something. Even though he's the champion, right now he's fighting like a challenger.
How did you fight him when you fought him?
Same way. But the funny thing is, I fought him similar to the way Pete did. I was a brawler. Everyone thought I was going to come right at him, and I outboxed him. I boxed him, and I was doing a jab. I looked like Willie Pep out there when I was boxing, when I fought him.
Guillermo Papaleo. Wake up the echoes of Willie Pep in terms of the defensive mastery of Pernell Whitaker. There are a lot of comparisons to be made between those two. So Pernell Whitaker in control as we come to the end of round 2.
Third round,
That's all.
Peter. Just
Other
do it.
than that, you're fine.
No slugging match with this, baby. You're boxing beautiful out there. That jab of yours is gorgeous out there. Keep that jab moving and double it up.
Just
Come on,
relax.
double it up, baby. Double it up.
No reason to do anything other than box. Pernell Whitaker getting the final words of advice from his corner as he heads out for round number 3, 16th fight of his pro career, and the WBC lightweight title on the line. I'm Joe Tessitore, alongside former lightweight champion of the world, Ray Boom Boom Mancini. Jose Luis Ramirez still trying to figure things out. Real tough challenge for the veteran Mexican. He's turned pro at 14 years old, over 100 wins in his career, over 80 knockouts. You talk about learning on the job. South of the border, that's how they get it done, right?
Well, you know, a lot of guys out of Mexico turn pro young. I mean, amateurs don't feed you. You know, you gotta eat. You gotta eat.
Yeah, can't eat a gold medal.
Oh, that was a good left hand. That's what Ramirez got to do. Stuck a good left hand here. Now put more pressure on him. See, he keeps following him. Cut him off, push him to the corner. You got to start manhandling Pete, you know? Get close up, push him around a little bit. But I don't know if his feet are fast enough to be able to do that.
That's a very good point, Ray, because you got to get to the target in order to hit the target. You saw the southpaw Ramirez place a well-aimed left hand to the body. I would think trying to take those wheels away, trying to cut him down a little bit and go into the body more would be the key to success here.
Absolutely. That's what he should have been doing that the first round on. Concentrated body attack.
A little more consistency, but as you can see, Whittaker willing to trade at times. Also, he can get in and out with even more speed than Ramirez can.
But see, that's going to make it a harder fight for himself than he has to.
It's unnecessary, right?
Exactly. Right now, he's so calm, and it looks like a glorified sparring match right now. You don't need to get down and dirty yet. He's beating the easiest way possible, staying on the outside.
Circling around. Whittaker on the outside. That has been the case so far tonight. It's fresh legs, quick reflexes, 23-year-old in the prime of his career.
See, Ramirez, the thing about Ramirez is he goes to southpaw, he drags that left hand. That left hand should be shot quick. Look at quick. Pete does that. Pete shoots a quick left hand. Because even if your jab isn't working for you, that quick left hand is going to keep guys off guard. But he drags that left hand. You know, he might as well send a telegram before it gets there.
Hasn't been able to deliver that backhand, that power hand so far tonight. Ramirez still trying to find it. Not successful in cutting him off at all. Hey, how about Whittaker going to the body too? Quarter of the way through this WBC lightweight title fight, it's been all Whittaker. If you were to draw up a game plan and make a checklist, check marks all the way down that list for Sweet Pea. Boxing on the outside, steady, consistent use of the jab, not allowing the veteran opponent, the power puncher, to cut off the ring and find you.
See, at times it looks like Ramirez is trying to box with the boxer. You can't do that. Like I said earlier, you have to make a dog fight out of it. So right now, you know, he's got to come in there. He's faint. He's throwing feints. No, man, just throw the punches. Let the hands fly. Let the hands go. See, even if he missed those punches, that's okay. He's got Pete back it up. Now apply more pressure on him. Come forward. Come forward.
Ray, when you stand opposite an opponent in the ring and you look into his eyes, sometimes you can see what he's made up of, specifically with the mental toughness. When you were in there with Ramirez, what were you able to read in terms of that aspect? Is this a guy that's going to be coming after you all night long and won't quit and not get frustrated?
Absolutely. He's very controlled. You know, his demeanor doesn't change at all. You know, yeah, I mean, that's how I was, you know, nervous to the end of the fight. That's why I kept fighting like crazy, because, you know, I wanted to finish strong. I didn't go in there thinking I was going to knock him out. I just let the hands fly. I caught him a few good shots, but he's such a strong guy. But again, because of his lack of speed of foot and hand, I was able to get in and get out.
Well-placed left hand and a right hook from Pernell Whitaker. Circling to his right. Wild right hook misses from Ramirez.
Now, see, that's Pete throwing them good right hooks to the body. He's digging down the side. Those shots, man, they're right in the solar plexus. Those will take the gas right out of the car.
And you can see the defensive prowess there, the head movement, the ability to use the legs as Whittaker gets away again.
There we go. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. Stay on top of him. Boom. Hit him in the elbows, hit him in the arms, hit him in the back. Anywhere we can hit him to slow him down.
There was a left hand that just landed for Ramirez. It went to the body. Whittaker ducks to the side. He has somewhat slowed down his offensive output in the final minute of the fourth round. Now he fires off that back left hand. Whittaker, Ramirez at the end of 4 for the WBC title. Joe Tessitore alongside Ray Boom Boom Mancini. Pernell Whitaker 4 years ago captured gold in Los Angeles. Tonight, he's looking to take his first world title home to Virginia, the WBC lightweight title. Wants to grasp that away from Jose Luis Ramirez, a veteran of 100-plus wins. And he's been in the trenches before. He has faced many of the rugged types, but perhaps never has faced such an athletically gifted and well-skilled defensive-minded fighter as is Pernell Whitaker.
Now, Joe, you see, now Ramirez is starting to pick up the pace a little bit. He's starting to land punches on Pete. Even though they're not hurting Pete, he's starting to land them. He wasn't landing in the earlier rounds. He's starting to land them now. So that means he's getting closer. He's starting to press the action a bit.
Seems like he's closed the gap, and that's been critical.
It's the only way he's going to win.
The distance in that first round, I mean, Whitaker was circling the entire time, and Ramirez couldn't get near him.
See, Ramirez got hit with a 4-punch combination and we stood him on position. Even though when you get hit, you still have to keep moving forward. So when the guy finishes, you got to fire back and make it, fire back and try to get him with something.
Still trying to chase him down here now. Trying to work behind that right jab. Two southpaws here. Now on the inside. Let's see if they exchange. Whitaker, in fact, does, and he places a right hand to the body.
Good body punch. Good body punch.
There's a straight left hand by Ramirez, but Whitaker was pulling back.
That's what he has to do, Joe. He has to push him back. Push him back with the jab. Push him back with a body shot. Do something to make Pete change his direction. It's funny, you hear Lou Duva from the corner saying, make him respect the jab. Believe me, at this point, I think he has a great amount of respect for it.
Hearing Lou Duva from the corner, nothing new. You can hear Lou Duva from the back of the stadium. Gets back to the inside. Whitaker now holding behind the head, and he's going to get a warning from Luis Carlos Guzman. There's a straight left hand, probably the best punch so far of the night from Ramirez. So Ramirez getting into gear a bit here in round number 5 after a very strong start to the evening by Whitaker. Now Whitaker tries to answer.
But Ramirez has to come back with something. When Pete throws a punch, he's got to look for an exchange.
Much better round for Jose Luis Ramirez.
Round 6, sixième round.
Sixth round, scheduled for 12. Pernell Whitaker, back to the jab. Ramirez still trying to close that gap. He had success in the 5th round in doing so.
He just snapped Ramirez's head back with 3 straight jabs. I mean, it's so slick. That jab is so quick.
So fast, so very fast. And a weapon that'll serve him for what many think will be a very long run on top.
See now, again, Ramirez is starting to pick up the pace, starting to close the distance. You know, Joe, one thing you got to watch for, especially when you look for European judges. European judges are notorious for liking guys that come forward. They like guys who look to initiate the action. Pete is doing everything he's supposed to. He's outboxing, but he's moving backwards. And I don't know if that's going to affect the judges somewhere down the road. I mean, right now he's winning. To me, he's winning by a shutout. But somewhere, good uppercut. Good uppercut by Ramirez. But somewhere down the road, it may affect the judge's mind. He keeps going back, and the other guy keeps coming forward.
I think you bring up a really good point, Ray, and that is when you're so skilled defensively and you have such great ring generalship from Pernell Whitaker, will you always have people ringside that can appreciate the science of the game rather than simple aggression? There's a big difference between aggression and effective aggression.
Absolutely,
And
Joe.
there's also a big difference between any form of aggression and skill and science and ring generalship.
You're absolutely right. And just what you said about effective aggression, same thing with boxing. There's a difference between a guy moving on you and boxing, effective boxing.
Hey, listen, Ramirez throughout this whole fight has been trying to be aggressive, but
Good
for 4
shots.
rounds it wasn't effective.
Right. Now, right there, that's what I do. Good body shots, exchange of good body shots. He got the better of that exchange.
Nice stiff jab from Whittaker. And trying with that left hand, Ramirez.
Ramirez got to quit trying to throw his punches from too far out, that left hand. Wait till you get inside, keep tapping him with the right hand, hook. Then when you feel him inside, boom, bang him the right hand to the body, then come to the top.
Yeah, especially considering all the head movement of Whittaker, right? You start throwing punches from way outside, he sees him coming from a mile away.
Exactly.
He's gone.
Exactly.
Pernell Sweet Pea Whittaker readying himself for round number 7. The French connection comes in the form of Jose Luis Ramirez, the Mexican native, French managed. So for this title shot, Sweet Pea comes over the big pond. You brought up the judging, the European judging, and obviously such a subjective sport. You never know which way it's going to go. But I'll put it out there. I don't think there's any doubt Whittaker won the first 4 rounds. Things started to change come round number 5, came off the gas pedal a little bit, and Ramirez started to close the gap.
I actually gave Ramirez the last 2 rounds, Joe. I still think Pete's in control of the fight, but Ramirez is making it the type of fight he has to. Pressure, hitting him in the body, hit him in the back, hit him anywhere he can to slow Pete down.
Second half of this championship fight, Joe Tessitore and Ray Mancini with you. The WBC lightweight title on the line. Can the 23-year-old from Virginia, Pernell Whitaker, take home a title in just his 16th pro fight?
That's what I was talking about earlier. Pete has a way of turning his back. Ramirez threw a wide left hook and hit him in the back on the kidney area, which is an illegal punch. But the way Pete moved, it wasn't illegal.
Well, he gets himself into a lot of positions because he moves so much. He's so elusive. He's so quick.
Very awkward
that
too.
he can turn himself around while a punch is in mid-throw. Getting out of trouble there. Actually, there's a good example. Turning his back, almost walking away, but he's so fast and so elusive he can get away with it.
That's one thing the American fighters don't understand. A lot of judges, you got to watch. You don't turn them off with that stuff. You try to get too slick, too cute in here, you turn a lot of judges off by that.
European style, much more conventional. Ooh. Nice straight left hand from Sweet Pea.
Good shot. Good shot.
Oh, and he follows it up. Ramirez comes right back and lands that power punch. Lou Duva, maybe a touch of concern.
The other thing about Pete, it's only his 16th fight. I don't know if he's fought at a pace this quick because Ramirez is pushing him to the limit. He's got to fight every second of every round. Maybe Ramirez thinks that because of his experience, get him into the later rounds. Hey, that's going to be to my advantage.
Most would point to his March 1987 fight against Roger Mayweather when he won a unanimous decision. Mayweather was down in the first. Whittaker actually went down in that fight in the 9th, but here he is against Ramirez, a title holder, and definitely a challenge. So a very interesting 7th round between Sweet Pea and Ramirez, a round in which both men were able to have success landing solid straight left hands. And maybe the time has come now where Jose Luis Ramirez has that sense of urgency and can kick it into the next gear. We will see when we come back. Look at the action from the last round. Ray, here's the straight left from Pernell.
Too quick. It's too quick. And as you can see, what a great chin Ramirez has. They move him.
He's been tested time and time again. Now the test has changed to skill and speed. And will youth be served? The 23-year-old Pernell Whitaker, round number 8 against Jose Luis Ramirez. Ramirez, coming into this fight, has won 11 straight. His last loss was to Hector Camacho back in 1985.
When he lost to Camacho, it was a similar type of fight. All Camacho did was move on him, make him eat the jab all night. 2 quick left hands over the top.
That is exactly how the first 4 rounds of this fight went. And then all of a sudden, Ramirez able to get towards the inside in the middle rounds, but still Whitaker has been effective. It's not as if Ramirez all of a sudden turned the tables. He's made a better fight of it. But if he cannot solve Whitaker, and Whitaker can use that movement and the defensive prowess and that steady, consistent jab, it's going to be a real challenge when the scorecards are read for Ramirez.
You know, I've watched Pete through his early career, earlier fights, and eventually, with this type of guy, he's quick enough to get out of range with punches. Eventually, he's going to have to stop, dig down, and go toe-to-toe with him a little bit to back him up. Because Ramirez, keeps coming forward again. You never know what the judges are looking at. And you got to push him back a little bit.
Well, that's not going to go sit well with the ref or the crowd.
And I got to tell you, I think that's a bit of fatigue setting in. Because he did that earlier in the round, he just did it again. He'll do it again, I'm sure. Because when fatigue sets in, you do whatever it takes to buy time.
Does that surprise you, Ray?
No, because, this is a big pressure fight. It's a world championship. Boom, and he's fighting guys with a lot of experience. Hey, he's got to fight every minute.
I mean, clearly he's a well-conditioned elite athlete, but it's the pressure of the moment, the world title on the line, and that nervous energy that gets absorbed.
Exactly. The stakes are raised. See, he's trying to buy time. He's clutching and grabbing. He's doing what he can do to buy time. But eventually, I think he's going to have to stand there and fight him a little bit to push Ramirez back.
And you can see the corner of Ramirez kind of picking up on some of that body language, like that right there, as Pernell ties up again. And you saw him grabbing earlier and saying, press him, force the action. There's a nice stinging jab from Sweet Pea, and then puts a 3-punch combination behind it.
Oh, good left hand over the top. That's what Ramirez has to do. He's got to get back into this fight, and those are the type of shots that'll do it.
Glimmer of hope for Ramirez. Good 8th round.
Now you got to suck it up. You only got 4 left. You got that? Okay, suck it up.
You're the champ of the world, baby. 4 rounds and you got 12 minutes and you're champion.
No, that's the...
That's
Very confident corner of Pernell Whitaker. Let's take a look back at the action, Ray.
There it is. Boom. He got close enough. He let it fly.
4 rounds, baby.
Caught him right on the chin.
12 minutes in your champ. That only took a couple seconds. You get a few more of those, don't have to worry about the 12 minutes. Pernell Whitaker, Jose Luis Ramirez, WBC lightweight title fight. 4 rounds to go. It's kind of been a tale of 2 fights. Whitaker early in dominating form, and then a fight that is evened up, where Whitaker has still shown very good athleticism, jab, and speed, but Ramirez has had a caginess and some veteran qualities and some experience that has paid off in the form of power punching and figuring things out. Back to the jab for both men. Oh, nice body shot from Whitaker. Dug in with the right hand.
But Ramirez now is doing what I was saying earlier. Even when you get hit, you got to fire right back. He's starting to do that. Pete made him eat a few jabs, quick hook, he threw back a hook.
And in any form, just touch him, right?
Exactly. He's got to do something to push it. You know.
Smother, swarm, and throw a wet blanket on a fire.
Hey, that's it. Whatever it takes. The only way you're going to beat Pete is in a dogfight. You got to turn it into a dogfight.
Ramirez trying to stay right on top of Whittaker.
Yeah, look at Pete, you know, doing little tricks, you know, giving a little elbow to the chin, clutching and grabbing and pulling his hand in. He's a well-schooled old pro, even though at a young age.
There was that lunging right hand from Ramirez. It scored well earlier in the night. Comes up short this time. Whittaker crouching down, then tying up.
Joe, this
Doubles up the jab.
This is what I'm talking about. In later rounds of a fight, he's the champion. He's pressing, and you know what? You never know what the judges are looking at. They're gonna say, "Well, he's the champion. He's coming forward at the end." Go, a couple good hooks there. You know, Pete's got to do something to, you know, I mean, he's boxing him. He's outboxing him, clearly outboxing him. But I think he's gonna have to do something to push Ramirez back. Oh, good punches there.
Combination, left hand was in the middle of it. Pernell Whitaker has had only one other 12-round distance fight. That's when he won the NABF lightweight title against Roger Mayweather. Prior to that, 4 consecutive full 10-rounders.
Good 4-punch combination by Pete.
Ramirez tries to chase him down. Whittaker ties up again, but he looked good in the final minute of this 9th round. Pernell Whitaker on the left, Jose Luis Ramirez on the right. One of these men will be walking away with the WBC lightweight title. Joe Tessitore alongside Ray Boom Boom Mancini. Ray, you know exactly what it takes to win a lightweight title. If you were working these respective corners right now, 3 rounds to go, what would you be saying to these men?
In Ramirez's corner, I'd say keep pressuring him, keep coming forward, push him back, pick up the pace of your punches. And if I was in Pete's corner, I'd say, Pete, you got to take a stand eventually and fight this guy. I mean, you're boxing him good. Keep in and out, in and out. I'm not saying don't go toe-to-toe with him. Keep boxing him the way you're doing. Eventually stop. You're going to have to go bend him a little bit, then move on.
There were moments in that 9th round where I really liked the work with the combination power punching from Pernell Whitaker. But that's going to be critical when we talk about the European judges.
Exactly. I mean, I would not take any chances, especially right now. This is, you know, we're in Ramirez's backyard, so to speak. You know, this is his place. So you got to show
like that.
Good punching right now. Now jump right back on him, Pete. Jump right back on him.
And now you can see Ramirez trying to do anything he can. He missed with that back left hand. And now Guzman's going to separate them here. On the inside, Whittaker ties up. Doesn't want to risk much against Ramirez. Ramirez would love to be chest to chest, belly to belly.
You know, Joe, this is the World Championship. You got to risk it all, man. You got to risk it all.
Left hand to the body. They tie up again. Oh, and that looked like it was on the break. And Guzman looks at Whittaker.
No, looks like there's something on Ramirez's neck. Like, I don't know if it's blood. I don't know whose blood it would be. Oh, good left hand.
Oh, and how about the hand speed there, Ray?
But he's, you know, Joe, but again, he's backing up when he's doing it.
And Ramirez is following him.
Exactly. So far, Joe, this is a good round for Ramirez. It's a very good round for him.
Well contested round. standing right in front. Ramirez gets 2 punches off. Now back to the jab for Whittaker. Ramirez returns with a right-hand jab of his own. And then that sweeping, lunging right hook that we've seen a few times tonight. Nothing but air that time.
I think Pete's looking to get that second win. You can see he's sucking up a little bit. He's buying time.
Jabs to the midsection. Ramirez still trying to close in. Just misses with the right hand there. Back to the jab. Whittaker circling. Championship rounds await for the WBC lightweight title.
You got 2 rounds to go, right? This is a close fight now. Okay. You've got to win these 2 rounds. Okay. Now, you're not going to lose 2 rounds and blow the title. Damn right. Give it everything you got. Now, you got to punch in combinations. 2, 3, 4 punches at a time. This is what a champion is, Pete. You got that? Yeah. So reach down for it. Pete. Tie him.
The time has come. Championship rounds for Pernell Whitaker. His family has made the trip over to France to see what could be the crowning achievement in his young pro career. Only 23 years old, only the 16th pro fight. And now the gold medalist from the 1984 games has himself in position if he can close things out and finish strong against Jose Luis Ramirez. He did it again, Ray. Went down. Pernell Whitaker went down and put his hands around the thigh. And you know what? I don't blame Ramirez for throwing a punch there. The referee did not step in right away. Protect yourselves at all times.
All time, Joe. You're absolutely right. You know what? Hey, I'm telling you, man, it's not going to, you know, the judges are not going to look kindly on it.
There have been a few moments here in the second half of this fight. And I don't know if it's frustration, I don't know if it's conditioning or just getting caught in the moment, but there have been a few moments of weakness and undisciplined behavior from Whittaker.
You know, he's that type of fighter. He's sneaky, he's slick, you know, he tries to be cute in there, you know, he does little things like that, pull a guy's pants, you know, he'll pull his leg.
Saw that a couple fights ago.
Yeah, but, you know, it doesn't endear yourself to the judges.
What should impress the judges is the consistency of the jab. But here's Ramirez now pressing and getting that real estate on the inside that he's been desiring.
You know, Joe, you said earlier, this is the last 2 rounds. The last 2 rounds are always known as the dog rounds. We call them the dog rounds because it says who's gonna bring the dog out of who.
Well, this 11th round has the landscape that you would think would favor Ramirez. Now, Whittaker will be willing to trade moments like that right there, and a right hand did come in there from Whittaker.
You know, I said earlier that he's going to eventually have to stand there and fight him a little bit. This is what I'm talking about. He's got to back Ramirez up. Then move on. Then move on.
Just misses with the left hand. Head movement. Escaped from the right hand of Ramirez.
Oh.
Combination there.
That left hook just glanced up. That right hook glanced up the chin of Pete. If it land a solid, man, who knows?
No, Ramirez has purchased plenty of lottery tickets in the form of that right hook. Yet to cash in, though. Right hand to the body, and there's a combination from Ramirez.
The left hand and a body right hand hook to the head.
That was a good shot by Whittaker here. They've picked up the pace here in this 11th round. And now another combination from Whittaker.
Showed his hands.
Little head hunting.
Showed his hand speed.
Plenty of that.
Get in there, fight.
Take a deep breath. Yeah, Mike. Take a deep breath. Pete, this is it, baby. World title.
Hey, want to be champion of the world, baby?
Give it
We
everything
need
you
this
got.
round 3 minutes, baby. You're the gutsiest guy in the world. Now let me see you go out there and take this guy. You need a good round out there, baby.
Pete, you're fine. You're fine. Just keep punching and moving, okay? Go. Pete, punch and get out. Punch and get out. Punch and get out when you get in.
Action from the 11th round, Ray.
See, that's that good hand speed right there. Good four-punch combination. But see, Ramirez don't back up. God bless him, man. He's there. He's there. He fires back. That's what he has to do. But that is the tell of this whole fight, Joe. The hand speed of Pete Whittaker.
Shows the veteran savvy, though, of Ramirez, knowing that, hey, there aren't many opportunities in which you can catch Whittaker, so when he's throwing, I have to throw.
Exactly.
12th and final round, WBC lightweight title to be decided. You know, a change in what we heard in the corner of Whittaker. Remember, it was only 4 rounds ago when Lou Duval was saying 12 minutes away from being the champ, 12 minutes away. After that 11th round, he said, you need a good round now.
I think Lou is smart enough to understand that this is Ramirez's backyard, and you don't want the judges, you don't leave any doubt in the judge's mind. You want him to go out there and win this last round decisively.
Ramirez looking to the body. Good combination from Whittaker. Scored well there. And ties up after dipping. Right hand just missed from Ramirez. But he's getting closer. Lunges with that back left hand. Whittaker gets out of the way and then shoe shines a bit before sending off a good old-fashioned 1-2. Ties up again, and you can hear the frustration from the crowd.
You know, when you're going for the title, you gotta let your hands go. You can't be tying up the guy. It's the last round. You gotta be throwing punches.
Double jab was effective before he tied up again. Now up on his toes, circling around. Shoe shines, gets out, downstairs. Does that impress?
That one did impress me.
Back to the jab. Ramirez has had a really tough time in finding the target in this final round, Ray.
Yeah, but you know, I still think it's a pretty good round for him, Joe.
Well, he's showing aggression, and he's showing that he wants to make the fight. Whittaker now, you talk about defense and head movement. But yet gets right back to the inside and squares up all of a sudden.
This is what Pete has to do to beat this guy. Like I said earlier, you know, stand there and fight him a little bit. He's throwing them punches up the middle, up the middle. You know, Ramirez has a tendency to be wide. Pete's throwing right up the middle, and he's catching him every time.
Three-punch combination again, and then ducks out, and then ties up. And another move that doesn't win over anybody here in France.
Oh, good hook by Pete.
Ramirez tried to hook with the hook that time. So 12 rounds in the books, and congratulations in the corner with Lou Duva and Pernell Whitaker. They feel extremely confident that they have done enough. Look back at that 12th round.
Boom, right there. Good. See, that's the good left hand. He's been doing that all night long, Pete has. Those quick left hands right over the top of Ramirez's lazy jab.
Quick and straight. Because straight has been the answer all night, right?
That's exactly it. Ramirez is wide with his punches. Pete's been coming up the middle, and that's been effective. Right there, straight. See that uppercut? Straight up the middle. Good. That's a good exchange for Pete.
So Ray Mancini, former lightweight champion. Did Pernell Whitaker do enough to become a lightweight champion? Oh, look at this. Lou Duva needing to be restrained. He's upset. Shelly Finkel getting his hands on Lou. I think they're getting a hint of the scoring and hearing what's going on ringside. You think he did enough, Ray?
Well, I think Pete won the fight, sure.
I agree.
I think it's clear.
I think he clearly won the first 4 rounds, a lot of even rounds in the middle, and then he was able to finish strong in the 12th and final round. Here's the announcement in French.
Ramirez, 116. Whittaker, 115. Ramirez, 116.
Oh, lost in translation? I think not. Unbelievable split decision goes to Jose Luis Ramirez. The British judge, Harry Gibbs, had it 117-113 for Pernell Whitaker, but then 116-115 for Michel from France, and the Brazilian judge, Newton Campos, goes 118-113. How in the world could you get a 118 out of that, Ray? I think a lot of the things you were talking about played into that.
That's ridiculous. That's terrible. That's a terrible decision. Pete clearly won that fight. I had a 116-112. I thought he did everything he was supposed to do. That's just terrible. That's outrageous.
So all of a sudden, the win streak is over. Pernell Whitaker, now 15-1 with a stunning and controversial split decision loss. Jose Luis Ramirez is once again a lightweight titleist. For Ray